Removals people coming today. Is that lot to go? That's all pictures, TVs, that type of thing, packed all well, but you know. So this lot is actually just going into storage. And then with these boxes, I've separated them so they can stack the boxes into the little storage units that they bring. And they'll go on top probably. So yeah, that's why I've separated them. There's a fair bit there. That's a big mirror glass. And then there's this lot. This is all the awkward shape stuff. Yeah. So once it's all gone, it's into storage. Hopefully no more than about 6 weeks. We can get tidied and cleaned up. We're both absolutely full of cold today. And of course it's such a miserable time outside at the moment. It's never stopped raining. Not as bad as down south though, so we're up in the northeast. But anyway, full of cold. Miserable day, lots of stuff going into storage, and that we're all right.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Gonna have to say a big welcome to all my new subscribers from the last video. I'm just a little bit overwhelmed. Had nearly 10,000 views to date and nearly 200 new subscribers. Amazing. Thank you. If I sound full of cold, it's because both Mike and I, my husband, have had the lurgy all week. And we're just getting over it. Well, Mike's still a bit poorly, but I'm getting over it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, all that. Okay, this is a little bit of a recap because I've got a lot of new subscribers. So recap on where we're up to and why. We're selling our beautiful apartment in Scarborough, or rather we have sold it, and we're moving to be close to family for Mike's health. So just a little bit on that. Mike has bad legs, bad hips, he has a tremor, he's diabetic, but mostly it's he can't walk very far, and in Scarborough everywhere's hilly, and we have 3 flights of stairs to our beautiful apartment, sea view apartment. So we decided long term we will need to be on flatland and we'll need to be close to family. As we sold, a couple of days later from that news, we heard that Mike had prostate cancer. So the way that we're moving has had to change slightly. We're preparing early so that if his surgery is before we move, he doesn't have any lifting or packing to do. We're hoping that we get moved first and then he has his surgery, because the hospital will be closer to where he's having the surgery. He'll be closer to where we're moving to, so that'll be easier. It'll also, I don't fancy going him up 3 flights of stairs when he's had surgery on his prostate, so that wouldn't be fun. So hopefully things will go to plan. It's all a little bit going round in circles up there at the moment. So another big thank you due, and that's to everybody who commented on the last video. I know some of you say I'm sorry, but don't be sorry. We really do appreciate your comments and your ideas. There was some really good ones, some good ones that are really worth thinking about that we hadn't thought of, and we thought we'd thought of everything. But we've been round in circles with a lot of things. And in this video, there are a few things that I want to go through. We've also drawn out, I've done a drawing of the house. I've done a drawing of to scale-ish of the downstairs of the house. So yeah, it's just to kind of go through some of the decision making for garage and toilet that we need to do, and what walls we might open up, what walls we might block up, and how we want the house to be. It's not that we're in a mad rush, because there is a lot to do. For what you saw in the video, you know there's a lot of work to do. And because of Mike's health, it'll mostly be me. He's been shopping for some overalls for me, which is lovely. It's very sweet. I'll be very comfortable in a big pair of overalls. I'll do an overalls try on. Anyway, yes. I wonder what colour you can get them in. Can you get pink overalls? I bet you can, you know. I know you can get pink tool sets. I don't think he'll buy me a pink tool set. Anyway, moving on. Where was I? Yes, so lots of decisions that we've made early on, and then we've changed our mind on, and then we've gone back to, and then we've rethought everything. Because when we very first started looking at houses, we had a wish list, and we had to compromise on that wish list. So some things like a big garden has become a small triangular one that's going to need a lot of work. A downstairs toilet, that was an absolute must, and we haven't got one in this property, so that's part of the decision making. We're now wondering whether it's a must, and I'll talk through that. Garage, that was a must, and it's because we have a classic car, so we would want a garage for a garage reasons. Now, a lot of people don't put their modern cars in garages. If you have a classic car, we have a Morris Minor Traveller, you want to put her in a garage. We do have a cover for her though, and the difference between where we are here and there is that we won't have as much wind elements of weather elements. We're right on the east coast here, so a lot of salt, sand, wind. We'll be more in a village, so it'll be a little bit more residential protected. So that's something we're considering, is actually, do we really need a garage? And as you all saw in the video, the garage is kind of in the way. It's a bit of an obstacle. So we're backwards and forwards with garage, carport. Do we need it? We also have a VW camper, 1970 VW. Will be a camper van when we're finished with it, but at the moment it's a bus. And we want that to be packed somewhere where we can work on her. It's really not ideally on the front drive. We'd like it at the back. So we've been going through all of these things and then thinking through, well, how much money do we spend just so that we can accommodate our cars when, you know, realistically, the camper van, we might enjoy it for a couple of years, do it up, sell it on. And then as we do get obviously into old age, would we still want a classic car? We might want a nice, reliable little, I don't know, Honda Jazz or something. I like the Honda Jazz. Or a little Golf or something like that. And then a garage isn't necessary. I'll talk through the toilet one later when I show you the floor plan, which I'm going to go through with you, because we've had the toilet everywhere. We've put it all over the house and can't really make up our mind on that. Shall we have a look? Oh, come on. Put kettle on. First off, look, boxes have gone. Oh, yay! The removal men came. So they've all gone out that corner. Got all this back. I'm cleaning through today, so I will show you this plan. I'll just get set up and then I'll explain my artwork. Okay, welcome to the art table. My work of art. Right, so it's not exactly to scale. What I've done is taken the measurements off what the estate agents have done on their plan, and then drawn it to a bigger scale so that we can play around with it. Built in, oh sorry, I've made a garage. That's my garage. yes, I've used sort of like a 1/2 inch equals a foot. And then, yeah, we're just going to go through a couple of things that you'll see or have seen on the video, particularly around the garage. This is the boundary line here, so it goes into a wedge on this side, whereas this side is straight down. So it goes into a triangle at the bottom, which means the garage is sort of offset and creeps towards the house. And there's a step here, which is actually, it comes out a little bit further. On the video, you'll see that there's very little gap. So if to get to the access, you have to climb over the step. If we're going to be doing things like the back garden, taking gravel out, putting soil in, wheelbarrows, all of that, this step is just going to be a nuisance. And pulling bins out as well. So the step's coming out. Well, maybe it's going to come out. We'll see. We've been backwards and forwards with this, but we'll talk about the garage. As I mentioned earlier, we did want a garage. It was on our wish list, and we're now thinking, because of the awkwardness of this space, if we take out the garage and instead put in a carport, a lot less expensive. I think we came up with a figure of around about £9,000 by the time we'd taken out the old garage, put in a new one, the base, the instalment of it, all of that. So we'll get rid of that. So then we've got a nice, lovely, big space. I'd still take that step out and put a nice one in if I'm keeping the door. So all that said, we are thinking that if the garage goes, or when the garage goes, we put this nice carport in, make all of this really pretty, put some gravel down, some nice pots, could get some nice gates at the bottom there, and just make it look like a bit more visually attractive from the front. Now again, as I mentioned, we do have an old VW van, and it would be nice to work on her in the back. If you remember from the video, here at the back there's quite a big area there, and we do know that there's room for us to drive the bus or the van down to the bottom, where we can work on her, do her up, and then it's not, you know, annoying the neighbours at the front on the drive, or being a bit of an eyesore whilst we're making her pretty. And hopefully you'll see all of that, and next year we'll be taking her out on some trips, and we'll take you with us. So the van, I think while we're doing her up, we'll park her over here, and she'll live there while we get her ready. And the Morris Minor will live here under the carport eventually. She is our daily car. She's been done up, so she is fit for use every day. Not that we'll use her every day. We don't go everywhere, all over every day. But yeah, that'll be where she lives. So next, moving in plan. Okay, so we've talked this through, and we're figuring, because Mike is having an operation, which we hope is November, when he gets back he's not going to be able to do much, and he will need to rest. So I don't want him going up and down stairs, toilet, all of that, and certainly not moving boxes around. So we're thinking, when we very first moved in, all of the boxes, everything, will go upstairs into a couple of the back bedroom and the small box room to begin with, and then we will live downstairs with a temporary toilet until Mike's recovered. So yes, I've made a bed. This bed is quite a big bed, because it has Willow's bed attached to it as well. Willow has her bed at the end of our bed. So we were thinking we're going to go into the front room just for, and sleep in there until we've sorted out the upstairs. Well, we've got, so sofa wise, 2 sofas. There are 4 seaters, so they're a lot bigger in a small room compared to, you know, they look quite like a fairly medium size in our big bedroom, in our big room in the apartment. So for now, we will just have to position the sofas best we can, maybe opposite each other, if they fit, because there is a chimney breast there. We've got what looks like a wall, but at the moment there are glass doors there. You'll see that on the video. So this will be our living space to begin with. And then we have table. So this is table and chairs in the whole measurement on this one. And that will go in the conservatory again for now until we decide on how everything's going to go. So everything's going to, obviously, the first move in, everything's going to get moved around quite a lot to begin with. Just to mention that there, that looks like a doorway, at the moment it isn't. That is blocked up. So these are just some plans that we've been playing around with, just to have a think about what we're going to do. So aside from Mike's operation, we want to do the upstairs first. There's a couple of reasons for that. We're going to get a plumber in quite early. We've already sourced one, a good one, who's going to come round and do a quote. I don't quite understand anything about plumbing, but we want there was a big immersion boiler in one of the wardrobes at the back bedroom upstairs. We want that taken out. We also want to rip the wardrobes out, and we want a new shower putting in where there's an electric shower. So there's going to be quite a lot of mess up there, and we thought we'd get all of that messy work done first before we even think about moving upstairs. Alright, just a little bit of a mention about upstairs then and what we are thinking of doing. So if you imagine the upstairs plan sat on top of the downstairs, you'll get something a little bit like this. Here is the line, so what I didn't realise, when you look at the back of the house, the top is set back. So I've drawn a little line there, which means that the bedroom obviously is a lot smaller at the back, and that would be the bathroom. There'd be a little toilet there, hallway, back bed, the box room, and then the main bedroom. Put a line there. I don't know if you can see it. I've only done it in pencil because they are coming out, and that's to represent the wardrobes that are currently in. So the plan is we're going to gut it. We're going to take everything out. All the wallpaper, the ceiling paper as well, because that's all coming down cracked, ripped, messy. All the carpets are going to come up, and the whole thing will be done from fresh. Little bit of a break. I'm getting a bit warm. So bathroom wise, what I'll be doing is pulling together a spreadsheet and starting to price up what it is that I want to do. The reason for that is because we've changed our minds on so many different projects. I don't want to get ahead of myself and spend a lot of money on luxuries in one room that are best spent in another. So I'm planning ahead for it. So the bathroom, I am going to involve you all on that, and there will be a separate video of it where I go through my hopefully bathroom choices, the showers, the finishes, the tiles, the new bathroom vanity unit, the mirror, how it's going to be decorated, the carpet, because I want a carpet in it because there's no toilet in the bathroom, so I can have a carpet, and even a new radiator. So that will be separate. If you're interested in contributing to that, that would be really good. I'd really appreciate it. All right, back to the plan. We're going to have a look at downstairs toilet. Right, the toilet. Am I sick of talking about the toilet? We have been all the way around the house with a toilet, to put a toilet in downstairs. So at first we were going to put the toilet here in the kitchen because we were going to block up that door on the side and take out that step, which was fine. But then the toilet was in my kitchen. So we were going to put a wall right across the kitchen, open a new door here, which then would give me a really small kitchen area. But then the toilet would be going into this sitting room, and we'd have to block up that door, or the door would go in that way. Either way, it wasn't working, and there was a lot of comments about there needing to be 2 doors between a toilet and a living space. I'm not quite sure on the regulations on that, but it just wasn't feeling right. So we had the idea then maybe that we put the toilet in the hall here. So that would mean this door, which is currently closed, would remain closed. There is an understairs cupboard, which would be a bit of a problem, but also at the top there's a gap that you need between the banister and the wall. I can't remember what Mike said, maybe 100mm or something, I can't remember. No. So we would have had to remove the banister, which wouldn't have been too much of a problem, but that would have been ugly, and the whole visual of it coming in through the door would have been ugly as well. And then finally we were thinking, okay, well actually it's not finally. Another option Mike was thinking, let's put it in the conservatory, or put it here, there is room to put a toilet in the conservatory. And that's okay, but at this point we'd also considered building an actual extension outside of the house, attached to the side of the house, with a room for a washing machine and then a little toilet off that. Trying to tot it up and add up the costs, it was just getting ridiculous, to the point of, do we need a toilet? I've never lived in a house where I haven't had a toilet, a downstairs toilet, or a toilet on the living level. But what we've decided, for the moment, we want to just get moved in. We can have a temporary toilet, getting one for the camper van anyway, so that'll be there for Mike during recovery, and for me. And you know, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it works. We might not need a downstairs toilet. Mike did have a giggle earlier on. He came across, because we were getting some ideas about costs and things like that from other YouTubers doing up their house. And he came across this DIY man who was doing up his house. And he did a video similar to this, I say similar, where he was showing the plans for what he was going to do to his house that he'd just bought, 3-bedroom semi, like ours, about the same age. And he had all this fancy software, and this is 3D image of his house slowly turning around. You could go in the rooms and put a table and chairs in them and everything. And then I look back at my drawing with my sellotape and my Tipex and my black markers. So I do apologise. It's not the most technical of plans, but it does work still. It's giving us ideas. This has been a really helpful exercise because we've made some really big decisions that would have cost us an awful lot of money. And I have to say, I love all of your comments, but we don't have a bottomless bank account. So when we're thinking about this spend, this is going to be our last house, hopefully. We've got to consider what's the most important way we're going to spend money. There's a lot more videos to come. Like I said, I am focusing on my bathroom at the moment. We'll be focusing on the upstairs. And I'm getting some quotes as well, so I'll feed back on those, keep my spreadsheet up to date, get you involved in what I'm thinking for the bathroom so you can make some comments on that. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and thank you to all my new subscribers as well as my existing ones. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!
Look at that today. Some yachts, if you can see them in the background, I might zoom in. Surfers. And it's sort of getting towards the end of September, so there's even a pirate ship, look. Wow. There you go. It's quite nice, isn't it, for a Saturday? Quite a blue sky. Nice weather. Quite warm. We don't know what the date is. I know it's a Saturday. But look at that. People out having a wander. Surfers that surfing. It's lovely, isn't it? Sunshine. Yeah. We know, I think it's mid-September. 28th. Oh, 28th. Getting towards October. So this is the Saturday, I think. There's a storm due tomorrow, so just wanted to get this bit of footage. Might be the last of sort of 2024 nice weather footage, maybe, we'll see. Scarborough, North Yorkshire. Yeah. Somebody catching a wave there, look. I'll have to zoom in. As a kid I used to sit on the cliffs at Hornsey. We lived in Albany anyway. Me and my sister had to go to, oh no, it was Withensea, on the east coast of Yorkshire. And I used to count the waves, and I'm sure it was every 7th wave, which was the biggest, is the biggest. If you know, let me know. Was it the 7th or the 11th? There's one. He's going to do it, look. He or she, can't see from here. They love it, don't they? Does look fun. Not something hard, maybe. Well, I couldn't, but it does look fun. Yeah. So, I don't wonder if they do it in the rain. If it's raining, just get wet, won't they? I wonder.